You know, now we take a look at the whys and the reasons not it should be happening. And you see a lot of fans look at this and they say, this shouldn't be happening. It betrays who the characters are. It's not them anymore. The personalities are going to change. And let's take a look at the whys and reasons not it should be happening. One of the whys and reasons not people come up with is because the approach that's been taken to get to these redesigns has been a ridiculous one in their eyes. It's been ridiculous, and it's been too padded up. It's basically, in their minds, it's an excuse for the writer to have something that people will remember him by. And that, in their minds, it's the reason this shouldn't be happening, the reason these redesigns shouldn't be happening in this manner, is because you could have easily, even if you wanted to redesign them, done a little short story or done a one-off issue where it all occurred. And that's one of the main reasons why they feel it shouldn't be happening, because you could have done it another way. Another reason, like I said, is they feel it betrays the characters, but also the reason they feel it shouldn't be happening is because they feel and believe in their minds that not only by changing the characters' designs, you're going to change their personalities. And they don't want that changed. Even though people like Ian Flynn, Paul Kaminsky, I'm pretty sure, those at Archie have all pretty much said, look, nothing's going to really change about them. We're just refreshing them. We're making them more modernized. But, that's enough. But the thing is, even though you could say that to them, they pretty much say, yeah, you could say that all you want, but what you're doing is betraying who the characters are by changing them, and we're afraid, and we feel and believe that you guys are going to betray them, not only in appearance, but in personality. And we don't like that. We don't want that. And that's one of the reasons why they feel it shouldn't happen. Another reason and why not it shouldn't be happening is because they feel that way. They believe that the characters are going to be betrayed. The characters' personalities are going to be betrayed, and they do not want that. They don't want it, and they feel that it shouldn't happen. Another reason why they feel it shouldn't be happening is you're pretty much caving in. They feel that pretty much Archie and Ian Flynn and Paul Kaminsky are caving into the Sega's peer pressure. They feel that it's Sega that's responsible for this, not the writers, not the artists. It's Sega, they pretty much feel, is responsible for this happening. And because it's Sega, that's another reason they feel it shouldn't be happening, because Sega is pretty much, in their minds, not really shown that much interest in the comic anyway, except for the granting of appearances of a lot of the game characters. But they pretty much feel that if Sega really doesn't have nothing to do with the game, they don't really want to acknowledge the games at times. Basically they feel that if Sega has nothing to do, really doesn't want to have nothing to do with the comics, and really doesn't acknowledge the comics in any sense, then why should they even bother now with it? Well, here's something that I think, I should throw in there. When the Mega Collection came out for the Xbox and the PS2, they did acknowledge the comics. They did. As well as the GameCube. They acknowledged the comics because in that Mega Collection Plus, you were able to scroll down to a section where you got to see the comic covers of all the comics, even the spin-offs. But still, I understand exactly where they're coming from. I understand, but you see, the thing is, they pretty much feel that if it is Sega, then why hasn't Sega really, why is Sega bothering with the comic now when they could have bothered with it long ago? They pretty much feel that Sega has no business, even though it's their mascot, they have no business, being involved with this comic. That if they want to be involved with the comic, they should have been involved with it from the very beginning in it. Yeah, they got representatives and all that, but if they really wanted to be involved with it, And they really wanted to redesign these characters. They should have done it long ago. And that's why one of the other reasons why they feel this shouldn't be happening, because if it is Sega, which pretty much a lot of people feel it could be, then it shouldn't, then they shouldn't have any say in what happens. You know what I'm saying? You know, they pretty much feel that, you know, they shouldn't have any say in what happens. You know, and that's another reason why they feel these designs shouldn't be occurring or shouldn't be happening. These redesigns should not be happening. You know, to me, it's like and to me, I understand where both parties are coming from. Like I said, I mentioned the reasons why it's happening. You know, in part one, in video one, and now I'm mentioning the reasons why not. And altogether, the fan bases have their different reasons and reasons not that these redesigns are occurring. So, like I said, some people feel that one of the reasons they, it's just a really divided fan base right now. And to me, the way I look at it is, all this, to me, it's like we'll have to wait and see exactly how the personality is going to change. To me, I don't think the personality is going to change at all. I don't think it's going to change at all. And if it does, then Ian Flynn will have some explaining to do. But, we'll just have to wait and see. But you got to look at the reasons both why it's happening and why it's not, and why it shouldn't happen. You got to look at both arguments, both sides of the fan base's arguments as to why it's happening, why people feel it is happening and should happen, and why some people feel it shouldn't happen. I mean, some people have come out and basically given their own description as to why, the redesign for Sally's happening. Like with her facial look. She was roboticized, she was weaponized, blah, blah, blah. So basically her cheek fur probably got cut off. So it's going to have to grow back, right? Well, there's an answer there. And maybe the outfit design does come from her being roboticized. Who knows? And one other reason why a lot of them feel this shouldn't be happening is because of the way you're making it happen. Like I mentioned, a lot of them feel that, hey, you could have just done a one-off story, a one-issue story where you had them redesigned, that's fine. But another reason is how the Sally redesign is going to come about, and how the possible solution to that's going to occur. And they don't like to know, and they don't like the answer to that. And that's another reason why they feel it shouldn't be happening. And again, like I said, the overall reason why some fans feel it shouldn't be happening is because some of them feel that the characters are going to become nothing more than a cheering squad and just genetic Segified characters of what they were. Me, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't really have a problem with the redesigns myself. Personality-wise, I'll believe it when I see it. That's the way I look at it. And if the redesigns are just to freshen up the characters, upgrade them, if you will, to be like what you would see in the games, so that even the newer generation of fans can accept them, then so be it. And, there's really not much we can do about that. So, well, actually, there is something we could do. I mean, pretty much Boark295 has come up with a solution to do a webcomic. I don't know what this webcomic is going to be like. But to me, there's not really much you can do unless you give a valid reason. And to me, the reaction and how it's accepted is going to decide whether or not these character designs, these new redesigns, stay permanently, if they're an on and off thing, or if they go back to the originals. That's the only way we'll know. But hopefully this video in 2 parts, and again, and take your time watching this, but in 2 parts, kind of gives you an idea why this is happening. Why it's happening, as I mentioned in part 1, and why it shouldn't be happening in part 2. So, let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. Video responses are greatly appreciated. I know some people may say certain things, although now you're, basically maybe against me and what I said, and maybe against what I'm not saying, or maybe for me, maybe for what I'm saying, and again, maybe against what I'm saying. So, but let me know what anybody thinks. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. and I'll talk to you later.